Hey guys, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. I'm really excited about this because I think it's going to be really cool to look back on these kind of videos in a few years and see just how different everything is. So obviously by the title, I will be 24 weeks pregnant tomorrow. So for our first video, I just kind of wanted it to be my pregnancy kind of from start to now, and just how it's been for me, things that, ultrasounds that we've been to, things like that. So I will, so I'm 22, I will be 23 in October, and then my husband is 24 and he'll be 25 in November. And this is our first baby that we are expecting. So I'm just gonna kind of take you from start to finish, or from start to now, and just kind of talk about it, explain everything. And this will kind of be our first video just as an update, and we'll continue throughout the rest of my pregnancy. So I found out that I was pregnant on December 2nd of 2020, and we were trying, so it wasn't a complete surprise, although when I got a positive pregnancy test, I was very surprised. I got my first positive when I was exactly 4 weeks. And I hadn't even really noticed that I had missed my period or anything. I just kind of took a test randomly. I don't even really remember why, because I didn't think that I was pregnant. So I don't really know why I took a pregnancy test, but I did. And I remember just being like, oh, it's not going to be positive. Like, I just took it kind of just for fun, because I knew that we had been trying. So I was just kind of going for it, but I wasn't tracking anything. This was the first month that we started trying, we got pregnant. So I didn't track ovulation. I wasn't trying to test on certain days. It was just we got pregnant really fast. So when I took the first original pregnancy test, I was not expecting it to be positive. I took one of the ones with the plus sign. And after I took it, I looked at it, and you could clearly tell that it was a faint line like the plus, but you could definitely see it, it was there. And my first initial reaction was to go run and show Sean, my husband, and I was like, oh my gosh, do you see this line? And he's like, yeah, I think so. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go take another test, because in the box it usually comes with 2. So I'm like, I'm gonna go take another test, because I was just in shock, and I don't know, I was just in disbelief, because even though, like I said, we were trying, just the initial shock of, I've never really taken a pregnancy test before, and the fact that it was positive, I was just like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. So I took another one. Obviously it was positive as well. And then as the next few weeks kind of went by, I took one every now and then just to see, and the lines kept getting darker and darker. So I'm like, okay, obviously I'm pregnant. So we had my first appointment when I was about 8 weeks and 5 days, I think. And that was our very first appointment. I was very nervous, but everything turned out to be completely fine. And I was measuring 8 weeks, 5 days at the beginning of January. And so Sean has actually been able to come with me to all my appointments, which has been really amazing. And so then at my next appointment, I was about 12 weeks. And that was the first time they were able to give me a picture. So I got to see, I got an ultrasound, and I got to actually see him, and it was amazing. And then I've had a few, random doctor's appointments in between there, but nothing really has gone on. And then we recently, about a month ago, had my 20-week anatomy scan, which I was also really nervous about, just because I was just worried. There's tons of things that they can see in those, so I just wanted everything to, go perfectly smooth. So we go to the 20-week anatomy scan. Sean was still able to come, and everything looked completely perfect. We did do a blood test, the sneak peek blood test at about like 11, 12 weeks. And we found out that he was a boy through the blood test. So when we went to my 20-week anatomy scan, they did confirm that he was a boy, which we were really excited about because we've already done, at that point, we had already done a lot to his nursery for a boy. So we were kind of like really hoping that he was still a boy because we had already done all this stuff for him. But at the beginning of my pregnancy, we wouldn't have cared either way if we were having a boy or we were having a girl. It didn't really matter to us. We were just so excited. So, but from the very like first week that I found out I was pregnant, I was saying it was going to be a boy. I was calling him a he. I don't know. I just like had this like intuition, but he ended up actually still being a boy. So I actually have a couple pictures from my 20-week anatomy scan. I was 20 weeks and 2 days in these, or he in these little ultrasound pictures. So that was really exciting. We got to see, you know, his little face and everything. And like I said, at my 20-week appointment, everything was completely fine. They told me that he was in the 97th percentile for like height and stuff. So he is measuring like really big, but she also did say that that could just be because when babies are growing, they go through growth spurts at different times. So he could have just been going through a growth spurt and he'll kind of like even out and not be like gigantic. But at my 28-week appointment in like 4 weeks, they're going to be doing another ultrasound just to see if he's like still growing very quickly or if he's kind of like evened out and he's just kind of on like a normal path now. But I'm hoping he's not too huge for when I have to give birth. But yeah, everything at the anatomy scan went perfect. We were super happy and grateful that everything looked normal. As far as me, I had a little bit of morning sickness in the first trimester. I only threw up like a handful of times, which I was really thankful for. But I was nauseous a lot, and there was a few weeks where when I was like 6, 7 weeks, probably 6, 7, 8 weeks, I was super tired like all the time. I was just exhausted. When I was home, I would just lay in bed, watch TV. Like I was just exhausted, like no energy to even like eat. I wouldn't even want to eat anything, which is not like me. Like I would really want to eat something, and then as soon as you go to eat it, you're like, this is disgusting. So that's kind of where I was at for a few weeks, which was terrible. And then once I hit the second trimester, I was still nauseous quite a bit, especially in the car. That's where I would get nauseous a lot, was in the car. But I was still nauseous, but I wasn't throwing up at all, so it was fine. The only other symptom that I really had at the kind of beginning was, and it still kind of happens sometimes, is just like some lower back pain, but that's totally normal. So I would just kind of use a heating pad when I needed to, and was totally fine. The only other symptom that I've really had, I've been really lucky that I haven't really had too many symptoms in this pregnancy so far. Crossing my fingers has been fairly easy for me. I've had really bad like acid reflux, especially at night when I'm trying to go to sleep. I can only sleep on my left side because if I try to sleep on my right side, it gives me immediate acid reflux. So that's really the only one. And if I eat like anything like really spicy, or just like drink any like soda, which I really haven't been doing too often, that gives me like immediate acid reflux. So that's like the only one during the second trimester that has been like consistent. But it's really not that bad, so I can't really complain about it because it definitely could be worse. And like I said, I've been really thankful that this pregnancy has been pretty easy for me. As far as emotionally, this pregnancy, I feel like I haven't been emotional too often, like not like I was before. And I would say I've cried a couple times at really random, like, small, silly things, but nothing that is like, you know, I haven't been really emotional or anything. So I can't really think of any other symptom that I've had. I have been a little bit more forgetful, I feel like, than usual, which isn't really like me, but I guess I just have some kind of pregnancy brain going on. So as far as going forward with my pregnancy, I have an appointment this Friday, which is my like 24-week appointment. So I'll be like 24 weeks and 2 days. And my due date, which guess I haven't really said, as of right now, my due date is August 11th. And it could change definitely if I do another ultrasound and they do find out he's big. My doctor said the due date could definitely change. So you know, I'm saying August 11th for now because that's what I've been told the entire time. So that's just what I'm going to stick with until I'm told otherwise. My next appointment also is going to be my glucose test. So at my appointment this Friday, they're going to give me the drink and I'm going to drink it before my 28-week appointment and then do my glucose test, which I'm not really nervous about. I've heard that it's really not as bad as people kind of make it out to be. So I'm not too concerned about that. But also as far as his nursery, we are, I would say, like 90% done with his nursery. We have all the big furniture that we have needed. There's just like a few more like decoration pieces that I want to get, but it's totally functional right now. I just want to get it like completed with all the decorations and everything, just the way that I want it to be. And then my baby shower is in June. So we will obviously be getting a ton of stuff from our baby shower, which I'm super excited about. And we are doing a co-ed baby shower, so that'll be fun. But we will be getting obviously a ton of stuff from our baby shower, so we'll have a ton more stuff to put in his room. I already have a ton of clothes for him, like an absurd amount of clothes. So that's been the most fun part for me, I think, so far, is just buying like little baby clothes and doing all the baby shopping. But as far as me being pregnant, that's really all. Like I said, this pregnancy so far has been really amazing and really good. The only thing that I have struggled with a little bit, I would say, would be just how quickly like your body changes. Like, I didn't really start showing, I would say, until probably about like 20 weeks. Pretty recently, I didn't really even start like showing. None of my pants really fit. My shirts are getting to the point where they're too short. So I have bought a lot of maternity clothes, but I would say that's been like the biggest obstacle for me so far, is just how quickly your body just changes overnight. But I'm so thankful that we were able to get pregnant and have a healthy pregnancy up until this point, so I can't really complain. But that would be the only thing, is just how, like I said, how fast your body is changing every day. And especially for someone like me who has basically been consistently the same weight and everything my entire life, it's just kind of hard seeing your body just, like I've said, just completely like do what it's gonna do. But it's also super amazing that your body just does these things, and I'm just super thankful that I can carry a child, and I'm just so excited to meet him. I am planning this whole entire time to do a natural birth. I don't want an epidural. That is just a personal preference for me. I want to do it all natural. So I've been telling myself that this entire time, that I'm going to do it all natural. I've been getting myself in the mindset. So hopefully I can do that. We will be filming the birth and the labor and everything like that. So that will be really exciting and cool to have to look back on, especially since our families can't really be there because of COVID restrictions. As of right now, Sean, well, you can only have one person with you, and it's obviously gonna be my husband. So as of right now, we can't have any other family. I don't even think in the hospital, maybe. So it's going to be really cool that we'll be able to film everything and just be able to show our friends and family, and just for us to look back on as an amazing memory. So we definitely will be filming the birth. So that is all that I have for my very first video. Yeah, so I will see you guys in the next one.